Hey guys and girls, it's Ken and Gina here from OK Portugal. And welcome to another episode of Portugal Farm Life. Yesterday Gina had a little bit of a mishap. I'm going to show you that clip now. Gina, what's happened?
Eddie just headbutted me.
He's just headbutted you. I think you've broken your nose. Look, it's bleeding out the top. Oh my goodness. Shame, baby.
The helicopter's come to rescue me.
So yeah, Gina's not very happy. We've just arrived home. She was crouching over to pick up her bag and the dog jumped up and bashed her in the nose.
And Eddie's
Jeez, it's bleeding badly, man. Wow, baby. And little Eddie's completely unaware of what he's done. Yeah, we've just arrived home and he got his foot stuck in the strap of Gina's bag, so she leans over to get his foot out and he jumped up and smacked her right in the nose. So you don't think it's broken?
It doesn't feel.
Okay. Well, I hope not.
I don't know. It doesn't seem bent, does it? Just cut.
Yeah, but it's weird how it's cut at the top. So yeah, Gina nearly broke her nose, or Eddie nearly broke Gina's nose. He's got a super hard head. How's your nostrils today?
Yeah, it's sore to touch, but I think I'm very lucky that I didn't have more swelling and bruising around the eyes. So, but yeah, I'm wearing sunglasses is quite difficult.
Well, we're going to take you out for a treat. We're going to go to an awesome restaurant in Castelo Branco. It's a vegan and vegetarian restaurant. Well, it's actually a vegetarian restaurant with vegan options. As you know, I love steaks and beer and everything like that, so it's quite different. But this place, the food is fantastic, so we thought we'd bring you along and you can have a look. We're in Castelo Branco in the sort of historic centre, and this is where you'll find this restaurant. And here it is, it's called Maus da Horta. Are you hungry, Gina?
I'm starving.
You need food to repair your nostrils. She needs nutrients to repair all of the damage to her little nostrils.
Oh.
So here we are. This is a really, really nice restaurant. It's in like this beautiful old building with these amazing arches and pillars, stunning old sort of roof joists and beams and things. This massive fireplace and lovely old antique furniture. And the food is just as good as the architecture and the decor. So every time that we've come here, we've met Francisco, and he's the man here. You must come and say hello. He's going to set you up with some awesome food.
Hello guys.
So today, shock horror, I'm eating vegetarian food. It's actually, no jokes, I actually eat tons and tons of vegetarian food, but I also do eat tons and tons of steaks. But today, the big shocker is I'm not actually having a beer, I'm having a ginger ale. So, is it a ginger beer or a ginger ale?
Ginger ale, so it's kind of a beer.
Yeah, it's kind of like a ginger beer, yeah. This is a really cool place. Now, one of the amazing things about this place is that they grow all of their own food. They have a farm, and so all of the produce that is in the kitchen now that they're going to make this meal out of is all coming fresh from the farm, and then the chef basically prepares a meal that way, yeah. And this is the beetroot soup. Wow, look at that.
Looks like what happened to me yesterday.
Oh no.
There you go.
Cheers. Oh wow, that's really different. It's quite earthy. And I've never had beetroot soup before.
Haven't you?
Right, so top marks for the beetroot soup.
Love it.
Gina, do you feel your nostrils repairing after that soup?
Not yet, no.
Not yet, so you need some more nutrients.
Yeah, I need lots more.
All right, so now we have some bruschetta. Oh, it always looks so good.
Here we've got basmati rice with chickpea curry.
Wow.
Here is like a stir-fried cabbage. In Portugal we call it a selger. I don't know the exact translation for it. Here it's a cornbread and kale muffin with a vegan mayo.
Wow.
And here it's a salad made out of with lettuce, beetroot, and cabbage and carrot. Yeah.
Amazing. It looks so good. It's like a work of art. Thanks, dude.
No problem. Enjoy it. Huh?
We will, yeah. So as you can see, it's an incredible old building. You can see all these old pieces, like the old cross over there, and a big plaque up on the wall, all the granite stones. Now this actually tells you a little bit about it. The Celero de Ordem de Cristo, so it's a granary of the Order of Christ, or the Templar Knights. From the 18th century, this is where they used to store the public grain. So yeah, if you come here, it's in English and also in Portuguese. And this whole area in here in Castelo Branco has got all these sort of historic buildings. Look how amazing these are. So it's well worth a walk around. So Gina this is her favorite dessert, creme brulee.
I'm gonna go for it.
Go for it. What's the verdict?
That's a good one.
It's a good one. Oh, brilliant.
It's a good one.
It's a really good one.
That's all you can have, though.
Yeah. Francisco,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
No problem.
Obrigado. And
See you
we'll
next time.
yeah, and we'll be back soon. Yeah. Ciao.
Thank you. Ciao.
Well, that was totally awesome.
Very nice. It's so nice. I might have to have an afternoon siesta.
Yeah. Yeah. How's the nostrils?
So,
It's actually looking a bit swollen now.
it feels swollen.
Aw. So a couple of days ago, we noticed that Mimo, one of our dogs, wasn't too well. She had some weird sort of mottled scarring on her lips that we assumed was from when she had some processionary caterpillars in her mouth. And so we decided that we were going to take her to the vet. And little did we know, we were in for some devastating news. So we're on the way to the vet again because Mimo has got another problem with her lips. We're not entirely sure what's going on. Obviously, a while ago, she had processionary caterpillars that got her in her mouth, so her lips got badly messed up by that. And I'm not sure what's going on now, because her lips are all like weird colors. They used to be black, and now they're like black and pink and all scarred. She's also got like this swelling and scarring around her eyes. So we're hoping that she's okay. All right, so we're at the vet. Mimo, calm down. It's Gina. So we're at the vet. This is in Castelo Branco. It's called Vet Beirao, and they're absolutely brilliant. So we're at the vets. I haven't been able to change the settings on the camera, so there might be a bit of flickering coming off this. I do apologize. For some reason, this camera isn't changing today. But yeah, basically, we're going to test her for Leishmaniasis, which is a disease that's carried by sandflies, or it's a type of sandfly, because she does present those symptoms. I really hope it isn't that, because there isn't actually a cure for that. But yeah, so we're going to do the test first, and then if it isn't that, then it could be some kind of an allergy. So we're hoping it's an allergy.
Fingers crossed. That's it. Oh, it's all noise.
So we're with Sophia from Vet Beirao, and she's doing this test for Leishmaniasis. And Mimo's not very happy. Mimo. So we got some bad news. She's positive for Leishmaniasis. So yeah, our worst thoughts about this when we saw it have been realized, and it looks like she is positive. So they're going to do another blood test now. They're going to they basically got to find out how many of these parasites are actually in her system. Are they attacking her organs already? Like the advanced stage of the disease, they attack the organs and then basically like kill the animal. But if you can detect it early, then you can kind of treat it, but you can never cure it. So she's always going to have this, and she's probably going to have to be on some kind of medication. I'm really not sure what they do. But anyway, so they're going to have to take more blood, and oh, our poor little doggy, man. Okay, so we've left the vet, and obviously this was like the worst news that we could potentially have gotten today, but it's actually not all doom and gloom. We've caught it early. And so the treatment is, treatment is possible. It's not a death sentence. And yeah, we're going to find out exactly what the treatment is soon. We've got some tablets that we have to pick her, up for her. And there's another test, like a third test, that's going to come in and tell us what was it, a serum or something that we have to get her.
But there's like a serum for if it's really bad and a different serum if it's not so bad.
So we're going to find out about that. Apparently that's quite expensive. And but we'll update you guys and let you know exactly what's going on with all of that.
This was one of the most expensive vet visits we've done
so
far.
Yeah. So yeah, we will definitely be updating you guys and educating you on exactly what Leishmaniasis is, how to protect your dogs and your cats even from it here in Portugal. And yeah, man, poor Mimo. First the processionary caterpillars, And now Leishmaniasis. It's been about 3 days since we saw the vet, and basically the vet was waiting on the results of a test, and that test was going to come back and tell exactly what kind of level of parasites are in Mimo's body. And unfortunately the vet phoned us up while we were having lunch and said that she's got very high levels of parasitic infection. She wasn't expecting it, because normally dogs with that level of infection, they normally present like a lot of hair loss and a lot of scarring all over the face. And so unfortunately Mimo has really high levels of infection, but they basically use this to figure out what kind of treatment to give. So she's going to order the special treatment, and we have to give it to her for 28 days. We have to also give her some kind of tablet medication. Apparently it's very expensive, and so she's going to call us as soon as the treatment arrives, and we'll find out more. But for now, our poor little baby is sick. Good morning. It's Monday the 23rd of May, and it's a really beautiful day this morning. We've had some not so great weather for the last couple of days. We had this storm, this dust cloud from the Sahara that blew over. Tons of it was landing all over the car, and it was obviously like blocking like the sun from shining. But anyway, it's a nice early morning. It's 8 o'clock, and I've got a lot of mowing to do. You can see over here, this is one of the fields that Joaquin baled up. And then you can see the difference between our sort of lawn section of the house and where the field is. Now this is looking quite untidy at the moment. It's very, it's very overgrown. So so I've got to get the mower out and make this place look a little bit neater. I actually quite enjoy mowing, but you probably already know that if you've been watching this channel for a while. I've got these Bluetooth headphones. They've got really good noise cancelling, and so you don't even hear the lawnmower. And then I usually just put on like some music or a podcast, usually Joe Rogan, and then before you know it, a couple of hours have gone past and you're all done. This is the remnants of that Saharan dust storm. Crazy. Yeah, this has happened a couple of times this year. It's quite normal for it to happen, but this is the most that I've seen it, where it's been days and days of the stuff. But yeah, crazy. Right, so that's enough procrastinating. I'm going to get the mower out, get it over with, and I'll check back with you guys in a bit. Well, that only took 4 hours, but we're all done, and it looks absolutely amazing. So you can see I've gone between the vines, and I've done all the lawns around the house, all the lawns around the back of the house. And now that the dust storm's gone, I'm hopefully going to be able to get a chance to clean out this pool and get the pool going. But as you can see, it's all looking pretty good. I've even mowed out here, and where we park the cars in that section. Is it entirely necessary to do it? No, definitely not. I mean, obviously you have to keep the grass down because of fire risk and stuff like that. But I kind of do it more for like a cosmetic purpose. And it's also not going to be long until we're not going to have any grass out here. We don't have any sprinklers out here. It's going to get so hot in the summer that this is all just going to turn to dust. So I'm enjoying this last little bit of greenery for as long as I can. And you can see here how the difference between the lawn and where the field started. The field that's been harvested a couple of days ago by Joaquin and turned into hay bales. And we still have a little bit more of a grass harvest to happen. In the olive grove, it's happening a little bit slower. The grass, the olive grove wasn't ploughed, and because it wasn't ploughed, the seeds didn't take as well. So this is more of like a natural thing going on here in the olive grove. But in the next, probably in the next week or two, Joaquin's going to come through here, cut this all down, turn it into hay bales. And then down on the bottom field over there, we've got that really big field, and that's also going to get cut. So this over here was like a little road, and I only cut it about 4 weeks ago. And look at it, just covered in chamomile, Viper's bluegrass. It's incredible. I'm going to take you down to that bottom field just so you can have a look and just see exactly what the grass looks like at the moment. Soon all of this lovely green is going to be gone. All of the flowers are going to be gone. We're going to have a dry and dusty summer. The very first time that it happened, for our first summer, 3 summers ago, it was quite a sad thing. But now, every year it's just coming back stronger and stronger, more and more vibrant, more and more animals, more and more flowers. And it's just a seasonal thing. The summer's got all of its advantages, but you can't keep everything. You can't keep all the good stuff from spring, All right, here we are. So this hasn't been cut in about 4 weeks, and you can see Bob's bump is starting to disappear. But it's quite different, the grass in this field. If you sort of go up to it, it's like got a different, well, it's made up of different types of grasses. So on the main fields, Joaquin ploughed, and when he ploughed, then all of the seeds go in quite deep. But on this field, he put some seeds down for oats. So there was some oats that went down, but it never took. The whole idea was that sheep were going to walk around and push the seeds into the ground, but I think potentially before that happened, birds might have eaten them all. But yeah, it's a really nice big field, and I think he's going to get quite a few hay bales off this one. If you think that we've already got 15 hay bales just off the front bits of the farm, I reckon we're going to get quite a few more just off the back here.
We took Mimosa to the vet originally because she was getting pink like parts on her lips, which we were a bit worried about, and she just seemed a bit flat. So we took her to the vet and obviously got to the diagnosis of the Leishmaniasis, and she started her treatment. And 2 days after starting her treatment, we then noticed she was starting to get very sore lesions around her lips and dry skin around her eyes, and she just seemed really, really low. So we took her back to the vet, who has given her antibiotics and antihistamine and then an iodine wash and some cream for her lips. And that seems to have helped a bit. And she seems to have a bit more enjoyment of life again at the minute, because I think obviously her face isn't as sore. I've been making sure that she's had some raw meat in her diet, and we've been giving her extra omega-3 oils just to try and help her skin and her fur. Obviously the other dogs have to have it as well, so they're all enjoying the fact that they're getting some extra meat and tasty bits. Try and keep them healthy.
So it's been a couple of days since since Mimo started her treatment. So now we have a better idea about, what Leishmaniasis is and where it comes from and stuff like that. Now obviously there's lots of facts and figures, so I've actually written down some stuff on paper here so I can give you the correct info. And basically Leishmaniasis is found in some parts of Asia, the Middle East, East and North Africa and Southern Europe. Leishmaniasis is a parasite that a sandfly carries. The female sandflies are the only ones that bite humans and dogs and other animals, and they need blood in order to reproduce. And so when they bite you, they transmit this parasite to you. Now for humans, most humans won't get infected by this parasite. They'll get bitten, but their immune system will suppress it and they won't show any symptoms. Unfortunately for dogs will get it, cats will get it. And so it's really important that you protect them with a collar or some drops. There's a collar called Scalibor, and there is another one. Seresto, yes, another one called Seresto. Now we use the Scalibor ones, I think, and as you can see, it's not 100% effective. Now you can back that up with drops, and I think if you use the drops and the collar, you're looking at, I believe the vet said something like 89% or 90% coverage. And there's also a vaccine, yeah, and that vaccine is only 68% effective. So
and can't be given to older dogs.
It can't be given to older dogs, yeah. So we wouldn't be able to give it to dog. So there's no way of 100% defending your dog against it. But obviously if you use a combination of things, like we're using the collars and stuff like that, and if you back that up with drops and things like that, you've got more of a chance of protecting your pets. Now Leishmaniasis basically starts off, or the version that she has is called cutaneous Leishmaniasis, and that basically shows on her skin, and you'll get like lesions and sores, really like itchy spots, and then in an advanced stage of infection, you get visceral Leishmaniasis, where she'll have so many parasites in her body that they'll start to attack her organs. They'll be present everywhere, even inside her bone marrow, and then they become incredibly difficult to deal with. If she gets bitten by a sandfly now, that sandfly is going to get infected with Leishmaniasis, and then that sandfly is going to go on and bite some other creature and give it Leishmaniasis. So it's really important that we actually use anti-mosquito type spray to keep sandflies away from her, so that she doesn't infect any of these things and potentially infect other animals around the area. Humans can also get Leishmaniasis, so Gina and I can catch it, but fortunately most humans will not catch it. The WHO did a study and they found that the majority of people will get bitten, but it won't develop into any symptoms, and that the majority of people that do actually get symptoms are sort of living in poverty conditions, they're malnourished, and they've got sort of autoimmune diseases like HIV and AIDS and stuff like that. So obviously we aren't vets. I'm not giving you medical advice here. I'm only giving you you know, what I've known or what I've learnt over the last couple of days, and what we found out from the vet, so that if you do have a problem with leishmaniasis, please speak to your vet. You know, don't take this as gospel. This is information that I found off Google and also from our vets. Now we're treating Mimo with something called allopurinol cyclum tablets, and basically these were a drug that are given to chemotherapy patients or radiology patients. It's to combat uric acid in the tissues and in the blood. So I'm guessing that these parasites must be causing some kind of increase in uric acid in her system, and that's why we're giving it to her. And then she's on this stuff called multiforan. And multiforan is a very expensive drug that she has to take for 28 days. Now multiforan contains a drug called multifosine, which was developed in the 1980s as a cancer-fighting drug. But they've basically found out that it's incredibly effective to fight against leishmaniasis and parasites and stuff like that. And in fact, it's the only oral drug that they can give to combat this infection. Now, according to Google, multifosine costs in America, a 28-day treatment costs $57,000, which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you know, we would never be able to afford it. Now, fortunately, in Portugal, you know, vets are much cheaper here, and her 28-day treatment costs just over 200 euros, which is just, I mean, I can't...
Still expensive, but yeah.
Yeah, how on earth can they charge that amount of money in the USA? I mean, it's just beyond me. But anyway, we are super lucky to be in Portugal right now, you know. So yeah, so multifosine basically disrupts the mitochondria in the cells within the parasites. It stops the cells from multiplying, and it basically kills those parasites. So it's very effective, but unfortunately it can never 100% get rid of the parasites. The parasites are in deep in her body. They're in the bone marrow, they're everywhere. So you can suppress the infection, but you can never cure it 100%. In humans, on the other hand, you can actually cure it. So I'm not sure why that is and why dogs can't, but yeah.
It's the same for cats. Cats can be cured of it as well.
Really? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I seem to remember. Yeah, so cats can get cured, and they can also contract it. So yeah, so Mimo's going to need a 28-day treatment once a year, every year. And basically that's going to keep her levels down so that she's doesn't have any symptoms. And hopefully she can live a long and happy life like that. The problem with multifosine is she can build up a resistance to it, or at least the parasites can build up a resistance. And obviously if they get resistant to it, it means that there's going to be nothing else that we can do to treat her. It'll progress onto her organs, and then it's a death sentence. So you have to make sure that you give her the correct dosage, never underdose. If you underdose, the parasites can get a resistance. Always dose slightly higher, apparently. This is according to Google, but obviously you at home, follow your vet's advice. And yeah, so let's hope and pray that it's successful. We're in about a week now of treatment, and yeah, our poor little girl, man. Hopefully she's going to have a full and happy life, a full and happy farm life with us here.
She seems quite sad at the moment, but hopefully she'll perk up soon.
Yeah.
So one of their favourite games to play is when we throw some biscuits out for them and they can use their nose, so they go sniffing for their food in the ground. Apart from Mimosa's too tired to go and chase. And the chickens like the food too.
That brings us to the end of another episode of Portugal Farm Life. We hope you enjoyed the episode, and drop us a comment, let us know what you think. Also hit the like button, help promote our channel, hit the subscribe button if you want to watch more content like this, and we'll see you again next week, same time, same place. All the best, everyone.